Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new playthrough from the Miscreant broadcast. This is the Legend of Zelda, the Wind Waker, the HD version for the Wii U. I'm Harry.
Yep, I'm George.
Yeah, you want to interrupt me this again?
That's just good, we're good.
Okay.
Let's do it.
We've done Zelda games before, not on this channel, but this is going to be pretty exciting.
It's good for us. The last time we started a Zelda game, I think Majora's Mask, would have been years ago now.
Yeah, I might re-upload that to this channel, but we'll see.
If not, we can just link it over, can't we?
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, we're not talking about Majora's Mask, we're talking about the game that came directly after. Maybe not. Maybe another time.
Not today.
This is the game that came directly after Majora's Mask, and for many people is just as divisive. Sorry about that noise. That is a hamster in the background. Can you just take it to the kitchen or something?
Yeah.
Put it in your bedroom. So I'll do the history of this game quick while you're doing that.
Quite a long cutscene anyway.
Yeah, exactly. This game's pretty divisive when it came out. Well, it was revealed rather. After Majora's Mask, people were a little bit concerned because while it was a sequel to arguably still the most popular Zelda game, it certainly was at the time. Majora's Mask was kind of a bit of a departure from the usual thing. Anyway, when people saw the advertisement, I think it was as an expo which saw a high res at the time footage of Ganon and Link fighting.
Yep.
And people were really excited for the next game. And then the next footage after that was this.
Yeah.
Perfectly timed with that, by the way. And people weren't happy with the direction of the visuals.
No, well, I've got a little bit of trivia which comes straight in here.
Go on. By the way, just while you're getting that up, I will explain the format of our usual Zelda playthroughs is us talking about it, but we're not going to stay 100% on track because this is quite a long game.
No, of course.
So,
we'll just talking about anything.
So George has some quizzes lined up, I'm sure.
I'll get some soon. Usually I'm armed with an iPad, basically, trivia or whatever else. Basically, yeah, this was given a fan nickname prior to its release, then based on what you just sort of said.
What was that?
Zelda. C-E-L.
Funny. I've never heard that. Funny.
On the cell shading art style. There you go.
People weren't happy about it. I can understand that because it's like imagine if I can imagine because there was a recent example with Metroid which didn't turn out quite so well. Also, those people's bodies on the left look a bit like swastikas. I've just noticed.
Tiny bit.
Basically, Metroid hasn't had a game in a while, and especially after Other M, a bit divisive, and people didn't really like it for good reason. Not with Majora's Mask. The reason was took people time to get into that. Whereas something like Other M was very, very divisive. And then we saw the trailer for Federation Force. You must have heard about that.
Not really.
It was a chibi DS game called Metroid Prime Federation Force, featuring the Galactic Federation, and Samus was not in the game.
Oh, right, yeah.
And people were fucking pissed. That video, the real trailer on Nintendo's YouTube channel, is one of the most disliked videos on the site.
Jesus.
of ratio wise.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, very, very, very heavily disliked. So I can understand why people want kind of a return to something a bit more traditional. However, Wind Waker is a really good game, which has arguably been made better with this version of it.
Oh yeah.
The original game has a lot of problems. We'll get into that more as I go along, but I think that the original Wind Waker is a very, very good time. Probably one of the more accessible Zelda games, I'd say, because the difficulty isn't that hard. It's got a nice visual style, and the plot is pretty light on the bullshit. It's just a simple adventure from beginning to end.
Yeah, much more kid-friendly. But
It's not like Majora's Mask, which is very, very, very hard to get into. And
you have to really be in the right frame of mind, and you want to be a person who's going to want to be happy to go and do all this side quest stuff. And
Ocarina is kind of very similar in the sense that it is still quite accessible, but it's got more of an edge to it, and it's kind of got a creepier atmosphere. I mean, we love Ocarina of Time, but I think it's going to be a nice change of pace doing something like this, especially because this game does not take itself seriously in the slightest.
Not at all.
And can I just say, these visuals are beautiful.
Looks so good now, compared to if you go back to the GameCube version.
I'd argue it still looks good.
Even on there, yeah. But after what you come from, it's just so bright and colourful and different. And
especially after Majora's Mask, I can imagine this being a bit of a shock.
Oh yeah, you can see why.
There is a problem, however, you might have noticed straight away, especially in this shot. The bloom. Jesus fuck, the bloom.
Yeah.
Jeez, look at that. I mean, it actually, funny enough, you won't believe this, it's actually worse in the Twilight Princess HD. But the difference is the art style in this makes it look worse.
Oh yeah, it just makes it 10 times worse.
But I don't know what the bloom is in favour of. I couldn't tell you what it was for. Is it to make it pop a bit more? Because I think it pops already.
I mean, I can have a look.
Yeah.
If you want.
I remember the bloom was a lot worse than the original reveal trailer, and it got ratcheted down a little bit.
Yeah.
This. Now, this is what makes this Link a bit different from the others. This Link actually has a family. I mean, this is his sister, Arale, and he's got a grandmother.
Yeah, there's a little family going on here on an island.
It makes this Link immediately a bit more relatable than the other Links, especially, you'll see there he's got more of an expression. This Link's very, very, very expressive, so, like, it kind of makes him a bit easier to root for in a way. Link's been quite a blank slate for the most. I mean, it kind of works at your advantage in Majora's Mask, because in Majora's Mask it's not about Link, it's about the other characters. And but in Ocarina, Link is not very interesting to follow. But this is kind of the first time I ever liked Link as a character. I think he's really, really enjoyable in this.
Definitely. There isn't really any real reason. It's just a few forums and Reddit things. So there's nothing really to find on that. But...
It was probably just they thought it looked good, and that was kind of it, really. I mean,
yeah, just something to show off, I guess, the whole brightness thing. And...
yeah, I guess. I mean, Nintendo don't really tend to justify a lot why they do things like that. So, like the Wii being a motion plus thing, Wii being a motion control, they don't really justify a lot of things like that. It's just usually
it's just their thing, what they want to try out and do.
Exactly. So, what is your history of Wind Waker before we're playing it now?
So, many years ago, probably around the time we were probably recording Ocarina, I borrowed my brother's GameCube, Wii for a bit, sorry. Played it for quite a while on there. Got quite a way in. And then I had to give it back because I wanted it back, obviously.
Bastards.
A couple of years later, I got a GameCube. And then, yeah, I was playing through it on that, really. But it's really strange because I got a Wii U again. I probably haven't mentioned, actually, on this one. A couple of years ago now? Or a year and a half. So did I say GameCube? I meant Wii U, if I did.
Yeah.
I got a Wii U again a couple of years ago now. I was going to play it again on there because I brought it again, but I haven't actually played it since, which is quite funny. But yeah, I've played a bit more on the GameCube version, so I do have kind of knowledge of both versions of the game. I've played a fair amount on each one. I mean, I haven't actually finished it yet.
The changes between the two aren't really noticeable until a bit later on. One of the things that but I mean, besides the graphical update, obviously.
Oh yeah, well, that's the main thing.
I love the fact that Link doesn't like wearing this. Oh, I was calling him Dave. But he's very kind of adverse to it, and I like the description where it says they're a bit uncomfortable and it's a bit hot. I love things like that. It just gives Link so much more character. I love him.
He really does in this. It's a lot more animated.
I couldn't tell you what the inspiration for the cel shaded look was. I want to say just general Disney cartoons, maybe.
Possibly something like that.
I'll say, playing it on your TV, damn, this looks good.
So good. It's really bright and colourful. Like, you just say it's there compared to the colours on your laptop. Sorry, laptop.
Oh, I'm gonna do some colour correction on it anyway. So
I know. It'll pop
I always try and do colour correction on my stuff.
But yeah, this has always looked great. You know, we say about the bloom, but as soon as you come into the light, you really feel like you've hit the sun and come out of the shadows.
Yeah, maybe that's the reason. I mean,
look how it really kind of pops those colours out all of a sudden.
I mean, if you play, obviously you've played enough of this game to know that it is basically about sailing.
Yeah.
You spend a lot of time in the sun, and I think it will feel the benefit of it later. Now, this version of Link actually had a bit of life outside of this game. He was kind of really popular. As is the case with most things, it turns out that the moaning about the art style, it was for a reason. It was to make Link look more enjoyable and visually pleasing.
Yeah.
As is the case, I mean, you can notice it there when that happens. They're plasticky, everything. But anyway, it kind of took people's imagination by storm, really, and they really liked it. And the story, I think the story's one of the better stories.
Oh yeah.
So it kind of he kind of had a life outside of this game, really, And it's funny to me that oh, there we go.
Oh god, I remember trying to do this with the gamepad with bloody motion controls.
Oh, it's hard. It's hard on, yeah. There we go. So he was returned in Phantom Hourglass, a different version of this Link, in Spirit Tracks. You know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he's actually in Smash Bros.
Yeah.
Referred to as Toon Link.
I'm trying to remember where this game comes in the Zelda timeline off the top of my head.
Well, if we're going to get into the timeline,
I know it's all a bit
we're
fine,
digging
but-
ourselves a grave at the
I
minute.
know.
This is in the timeline where Link defeated Ganondorf as a child. That's it. He wasn't defeated. Him and Zelda managed to tell the king that Ganondorf was going to commit those crimes,
Yeah.
and he was arrested. And so Link, this is set after Majora's Mask, because Link went away into the forest and he hasn't been seen since, basically.
That's it, yeah.
Or I'm wrong, because I'm pretty sure that's the Twilight Princess timeline.
Let's do it.
Hey, do you want to get the Zelda timeline up quick, just to figure out what it
We
feels
might
like?
as
'Cause
well.
I cannot remember for the fucking life of me. I know Ethan actually has the Hyrule Historia. Did you buy it?
I haven't, no, it's all something that was sort of I meant to do but never bothered.
It's only really needed if you care about the timeline. I do not care about the timeline. But the thing is, the problem is the timeline was made after so many different games. It was hard to slot stuff in like that.
Well, yeah. Zelda timeline.
It all revolves around Ocarina of Time, because of course it does.
Oh yeah. Got it. Right. Getting there.
This has a kind of structurally. This game is very similar to Ocarina in the first couple of beats, like using the teaching you Z targeting, teaching you how to use a sword and all of that. But it has a lot more character. Ocarina of Time, even when I was walking around Kokiri, I didn't know any of those people. When you see Orca, like, I mean, this is a good example of good visual design. When you walk around Orca's room here, and you see all of this stuff, and you see the cardboard shark, and you see him, it's like, I know who he is. I know what he's like. He's a tough swordmaster who used to be a fisherman and probably went out on the waves to fight monsters for his own amusement. You get that looking at... That's good visual design.
Oh, definitely. Right, I've got the timeline. So, we start creation, then Skyward Sword.
Don't bring your religious shit into my playthrough.
So yeah, Sacred Realm sealed, Kingdom Hyrule founded, Minish Cap,
Good game, good game.
Four Swords, Hyrulean Civil War, Ocarina of
Of course there
Time,
was.
The Hero is Triumphant. Then we go on to Timeline D, which is the adult timeline. Ganon is sealed away, Hyrule is sealed and then flooded.
That's it, it was the adult timeline.
Yep, then you go into Wind Waker, Ganondorf is revived and defeated by Link. Yeah. Then we go on to Phantom Hourglass, Hyrule's found in a new land, and it finishes at Spirit Tracks.
Oh, it doesn't go any further than that.
In this timeline, yeah, Spirit Tracks is the end. It's got all of it. This is from the actual encyclopedia saying I've got the whole page here.
Guess you don't really need it.
Not really. Cool.
Now, Zelda combat is usually pretty simple, but as we've just seen here, we've learned a new kind of technique that's only really in this game. It's the parry system.
Oh, yeah.
That makes combat so fucking satisfying.
Nice.
Do you want to hit me?
I remember finding it works quite well, the combat in this game.
It's one of them things where it's simple, but it's incredibly satisfying.
Mm.
Now, we haven't done it just to save time, but you can actually, before going to see your grandma, go and see Orca here and get some sword lessons. But he will not give you the sword because he says your grandmother will be very angry with me if I did. Again, little bit of character. It's so good.
It's good. It's not quite just as open, oh, you can go do this and this. And
I remember the names of most of these people more than I do the names of the people in Ocarina of Time.
they all just have a bit more personality, and that's all it is.
And they have all very, very different visual designs. Everyone on this island looks different.
Oh, yeah. It really does feel like a kind of all kind of being island. There's so much going on.
Also, we'll talk about the pirates next time, but I love the pirates.
Oh yeah.
Did you ever touch anything like Phantom Hourglass or Spirit Tracks?
I still haven't, no. It's on my list one day to maybe get around to, but...
Phantom Hourglass, I remember really enjoying that. It has a really interesting system where you can use the touchscreen to do stuff like control your boomerang, where you can control the direction it's going to go, or you can draw on a map to remind you where some treasure is or whatever.
Nice.
It also has one of the best side characters in any Zelda game, Linebeck. Linebeck is a great character. He just is, I'm sorry. He's your companion character for that game. So you have like Midna and all of that.
Oh right, yeah.
Oh no, wait, he's not. No, Proxy. So Proxy is your fairy character in that game, but Linebeck is the guy who transports you places. Linebeck is great. He has a great character arc. He's a lot of fun.
Awesome.
We might do Spirit Tracks at some point, but we're going to figure out how to record from a DS.
Well, it's impossible. Unless you can buy it on something, or...
I guess it's impossible.
Actually, I suppose we could do it on the Mac, on Virtual Console.
How dare you imply that we're going to do it illegitimately? Illegitimately, I said.
Because if recording from a DS is a bitch, you basically need to buy a custom one off eBay or something. Or
Bitch.
do it yourself. You actually have to mod something on the circuit board. From what I remember.
Not doing that, fuck that. Let's go rescue the strange pirate lady.
Seems like a good idea.
Sorry, I didn't mention what my history with this game was. Just wanted to hear your side.
Oh god, yeah, sorry.
Because I'm a very lovely person.
Go ahead.
Basically, if memory serves, because this is way back in... I was 9 when this came out. If memory serves. Whoops. There we go. Yeah, I remember now. Basically, my dad was bought it when the year it came out by someone else, and I got... me and Ethan got 2 GameCube games. He got Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights. Actually, a very good licensed game, if I remember.
Some of the Scooby-Doo ones are actually alright.
I remember that and Cyber Chase being a lot of fun. He also... I got 007 Nightfire.
Oh, yeah.
Which is probably my favourite James Bond game. Again, 2 very solid licensed games. But I remember him getting Wind Waker and being like, oh, it's really cool, can I play it? He said no. But that same Christmas, a couple of days after that, because this was on Christmas Day when I stayed with my dad.
Yep.
And then a couple of days after that, when I went back with my parents, we had probably one of the best Christmases I ever had with my parents, because I got as a present, and I remember Christmas Day just being very fun that year. Mario Kart Double Dash, Wind Waker, between me and Ethan, obviously, not just me. So we got Double Dash, Wind Waker, the Zelda Master Quest. So we had Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask on the disc.
Nice.
What else? Oh, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle was still my favourite Sonic game. Melee, I think. Smash Melee, maybe.
Yep.
Man, that was a good Christmas.
Yeah, it's a lot of games.
Oh, Metroid Prime. Sorry, not Smash. Metroid Prime. That was a good fucking Christmas.
Nice. It's pretty damn cool.
The Christmas before that was when I got my GameCube, because I got Smash, Luigi's Mansion, and something else, I think, for that. I don't really remember.
Nice.
Now this is Tetra. She's one of the more popular characters in Zelda canon. She's kind of interesting. She kind of makes a really nice parallel to Link in a way, where Link is just this very good-natured, kind-hearted person. She's not,
No.
basically.
That's all you need to know.
Oh, Jesus, that colour.
Not now. Sort it out in a second, it's fine.
Oh dear, big bird. That is our modus operandi for the game. The wrong motive for the game. We need to go rescue our sister.
Do it.
He would have survived that. Drop him. It really makes you feel for Link. Like, he's got a real... his sister's got stolen by a bird.
Yeah.
A giant burb.
It seems like you imagine that not much happens on this island as well, so this is pretty big.
Yeah, pretty big. Also, those two look really unwell. Hello. By the way, do you want to know something really fun about that character, that postman?
You alright?
He's a Rito. He is evolved from Zoras. He's a bird person. Now, what is the world covered in where the Zoras could possibly flourish? Fucking water. But they went extinct and now they're bird people.
Of course.
I love that though, the fact that the bird people have been designated as the postman. I love that.
It's brilliant.
Is your name really Dave? Wow.
Jesus.
Damn, the Forsaken Fortress. Damn, we got to go to the meanest, most evil place in the entire ocean. Of course she went there.
All the places. You had to be there.
I go say goodbye to Grandma.
Oh, piss off, Grandma.
And we'll go grab Grandma's... Yeah, we'll go and grab Grandma's shield. Now, if you talk to the villagers here, they'll be like, "Oh God, a big bird! Where's Arale?" All of
Yeah.
that. But Grandma unfortunately does not know, so we shall spare her the pain of knowing. Bye.
You what?
He took a fucking shield as well as our sister. Dick. This cutscene's like really hits you in the feels, man.
Hmm.
Oh, look at his face.
I like the silence too.
Yeah, this as well. That's great. Oh, sorry, Grandma.
Bye!
This cutscene's great though. This next one. Okay, this one I'll be late.
Yeah.
This one, I mean this one as we go onto the pirate ship. Shh.
We'll get there eventually.
Fucking up. Ready. All right. Don't have to be mean. Why is there such horrible things about my shield? Damn, this scene's awesome. While we're listening to this awesome bit of music, can I just say how awesome the soundtrack to Wind Waker is?
Oh yeah.
It's fucking great. It's my probably my third favourite Zelda soundtrack.
Nice.
First, obviously, is Majora's. My second one would be Twilight Princess, I would have thought. Or Ocarina, maybe.
Hmm.
But Wind Waker has a really solid soundtrack.
Yeah. It gave so much.
Especially because this version of it has a redone soundtrack. It's all been remastered and re-recorded. And it sounds really good for the most part.
Very, very solid.
It plays up a lot. So like Dragon Ball style and that kind of flamenco style of it really plays that up.
Hmm. Yeah, you notice more as we get into the game, that sort of stuff, but... Yes.
Alright, bloody hell.